I brought my indie game OneBit Adventure to Midwest Gaming Classic, one of the biggest gaming conventions in the US. A weekend of non-stop classic retro games and endless rows of pinball machines to a vendor hall full of loot, as well as a large growing indie developer section called Future Classics. This convention is one I keep coming back to. With tens of thousands of people attending and growing year over year, it's the perfect place to spread the word about OneBit Adventure and Rogue Together, the sequel to OneBit, with new players and see what I can do to improve OneBit. This was also the perfect time to connect with other indie developers and meet some longtime adventurers that have only discovered the game because of Midwest Gaming Classic. To make this convention even more memorable, I decided to create a OneBit warrior costume to get people interested in visiting our booth. In this video, I'm sharing my experience at Midwest Gaming Classic, talking about the majestic warrior costume, what's it like to see new players playing the game. But before we can talk about what I learned, we need to talk about what we can all learn with today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant makes it easy to level up your skills every day with thousands of interactive lessons across math, science, programming, data analysis, and AI. Instead of memorizing answers, Brilliant teaches you to think critically and solve problems, helping you build real knowledge that sticks. With the Brilliant app, you can learn anytime, anywhere, whether you're diving into a new topic or squeezing a quick practice session on the go. Right now, you can try everything Brilliant has to offer with a full 30-day free trial by visiting brilliant.org/OneBitAdventure. You can find the link in the description down below or just scan the QR code on screen. You'll even get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Thanks again to Brilliant for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's adventure back into Midwest Gaming Classic. Here's me thinking I can do an intro vlog, but nope, I'm just gonna stay off camera. OneBit Adventure has survived 6 years since its release, and conventions like Midwest Gaming Classic has been key to the success of OneBit Adventure. Of course, doing this alone would be harder, but thankfully I have the help of my brothers, Pure Cookin' and I, who also live stream on Kick and was also at the convention streaming. Not only do conventions help bring new players to the game, but they also let me see how players react when playing the game for their first time. For example, I've watched at least 10 players try to tap enemies instead of using the D-pad to move or to interact. There was even a time where someone was tapping the Actions UI in order to interact with an object. And one thing that's always fun to see is the reaction of players when fighting their first boss, but sadly leaving the game after dying to their first boss. I even had a player that learned about OneBit from Midwest Gaming Classic last year show me how to softlock the new player tutorial, which I am definitely going to fix. These are things I can only get by observing people in real time, and it made me more excited to get back to work to fixing those things. Each convention has helped me grow as a developer by deciding those high priority features, and helps me work on connecting with players. Me and my brothers were able to hand out hundreds of stickers, QR tags, and flyers, which was all a great part of building the future for OneBit Adventure. The cosplay idea came from me and my brothers just randomly deciding what can we do different at Midwest Gaming Classic. And sure enough, I searched on YouTube and saw how to build a cosplay costume, and to my surprise, it simply is EVA foam and glue. This costume idea was amazing, as my brother Pure Cookin' had a blast shouting all around the place. It was also fun to see the reaction of other people staring at the costume as he was walking by, but there was also other developers that had brought their own type of attraction. Dynamite brought a couch for people to sit and play their game, which is a couch co-op dino game where you're like Super Mario, you're trying to like stomp on the other player to eliminate them. And the creators of Ivor use CRT TVs to give their game more of a retro feel, because it is based off the classic Doom shooter. Pretty neat ideas coming from other indie developers. I was also able to get 3D printed collectibles like the OneBit warrior statue and Rogue Together QR keychains to help spread the word on Rogue Together in a more physical form. And this got people more excited about the Kickstarter. I do gotta give a shout out to Fonzarelli for creating these 3D prints. I'll leave his link tree in the description down below. If you guys need someone to 3D print stuff, definitely reach out to him. He is accepting commissions at this time. But after talking to so many people for over 10 hours throughout the entire weekend, my voice was completely cracked. But it was all worth it in the end because it reignited that fire to keep working on OneBit Adventure and to provide the best quality updates possible. And for memorable moments, I want to thank Steve, who managed the Future Classic section and made sure I had enough to hydrate my throat. Jared, creator of Nonetheless, who I've met years ago because of Midwest Gaming Classic. I love his unique puzzle game and I'm rooting for him to release it one day. But he does work another full-time job, so if you want, give him a wish list, as well as Oliver, creator of Insectiles, who has an amazing game where it's like Pokemon, but with bugs capturing and also Tetris combat. It's very unique, very fun, but I was able to get into the game really quickly, so I'll leave his Steam wishlist link in the description as well. Shout out to RSVR, which is a Milwaukee VR gaming rental, which makes for a fun experience of VR without having to buy the equipment or having the space for it. Overall, this gaming convention is one that is staying in my long-term memory, and I want to thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel, as well as OneBit Adventure and its future. I hope to see you on the next adventure.
What up, y'all? I'm your host, Pure Cooking from Galactic Slice. We here at Midwest Gaming Classic 2025 to here to promote OneBit Adventure. Check it out. As well, if you don't know, check out Rogue Together to promote the next Kickstarter for the upcoming game.
Just so you know, the keychain was in the way. Just flip it.
Wait, keychain, my bad. Let me hold the keychain. Check it out. Kickstart for Rogue Together.
Sorry, Cook. I decided to not do the intro, but I put your intro in the video at least.